like that, right? I met this woman who was like a divorcee and she owned these buildings around Chicago and she hooked us up with the place, right? Like, so this support group of women sort of helped me change my life around. And that brings me to the best piece of advice that I can give you. And if you're going to be a traditional wife, and that is have your own income from somewhere. Not only will that give you something to do and something to talk about with your partner when he comes home from work, it will also give you your own funds. And even if you're a girly who gets an allowance, put that money aside, some of it, you know, take up a hobby that can pay you eventually. Have your own resources so that if you get left in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you're not left with nothing. This is about securing your own safety. That's right, Eileen Francis. And we did lift up me. So this is about taking control of your life, control of your finances. It's fine to be a traditional wife and have your man provide for you, but you can also have a little side hustle. Doesn't have to make much, just something, right? Do something, a hobby that you can turn into a business, something, but just keep an understanding that sometimes it doesn't work out. And hell, if you have that money, you can throw it into a vacation or whatever, but have some set aside for you. Even if you have to pinch off of your allowance, put some money away in your own account, even if that account is kept quiet, you know what I'm talking about, and keep some money for yourself. Something aside, just in case. Call it a rainy day fund if you need to. But don't ever, ever be the woman who has no resources, because that is a very dangerous place to be. Period. So let's talk about my second time being a traditional wife, a trad wife. Okay, so the second time I had more knowledge, right? And I said to myself, keep your own bank account. I will never again share a bank account with a man. Okay. And man, this goes for you too. And so we had my account, his account, and our account, which I think works really well, right? That way we could go on vacations and do things like that together, and or any big projects or something we wanted to do, and we could combine funds. But by this time, I had my own income. Okay. And there was a little period of time where I didn't at first, but then I did. So I had a little side money coming in on my own. And I always had a little side money coming in on my own, because initially, I didn't feel like he was that great of a provider. That's my fault. Okay. We make choices when we're not healed. Heal, number one, heal before you pick who you're going to have your kids with. Number one, heal that trauma, heal those inner child wounds. Okay. Heal that shit. Then pick who you're going to be with. And so if I knew half the stuff I knew now, honey, let me tell you what, I wouldn't even seen him. But I digress. We all make our choices. And I have beautiful kids. So, anyway, it worked out much better for me this time, because when I was ready to walk away from the relationship, I had money and I could build my new life, and I had a house, right? So I could build my new life much easier, and I'm much older, right? And you know what happens? People tend to think that as women get older, they become obsolete, which is a fucking lie. I mean, we actually get better. So your loss if you don't think so. But the beautiful thing about it is, um oh, thanks, baby. um, so the beautiful thing about it is that this time I was more capable and I still had an amazing group of friends supporting me, right? So that remained consistent the whole way through. And guys, you need a friend group too, because my ex, the first one didn't have a big friend group, but the second one, the second one, that's right. The second one did. And so he was able to process through the divorce and everything like that with support. And he's already in another relationship, happy. We're all good. We're actually friends. If you follow this podcast, you know that we're cool. I mean, we're friends. We have moments as you would expect, but we co-parent and we get along pretty well. So, um, but and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I was so able to move forward financially, right? That I didn't have to have a lot of animosity. So, food for thought. But some of the things that I learned in that relationship of how to be a really good traditional wife was, I'm going to give you one tip that completely helped my relationship thrive. Okay. So if this is for you, because I know it sounds like I'm coming against it, but I'm not. I'm like, it can be a very beautiful experience. And we had many very beautiful years of me being a stay at home mom. I was a stay at home mom for 11 years. And so I really am that this girl that wants to cater to her man. Like, I want to do these things. I want to make sure that he is appreciated and satisfied and loved and all of these things and cared for. So I delighted in making his meals. I loved I'd have him call me when he was about an hour out from coming home, and I would make sure his dinner was ready. Like, I had it was a beautiful structure to my day where I would get to sleep in after I had a baby then and stuff. So after I dealt with that, I would get a chance to sleep a little bit. And then I would, take care of the kids, whatever they needed. And then, I thought you were leaving. You're so funny. Um, and, um, and so I would get to take care of the kids and have that like sort of part of my morning set up, what I was going to do with them. And then I would make their lunch, and then I would have time to clean in the first part of the afternoon. And then I would have like some free time if the kids were napping or doing studies, because I homeschooled my first kid as well. So, or we might have an activity that day out of the house for a homeschool event or something like that. So I had like a beautiful structure to my day. Right. And then he'd call me and tell me he was coming home, and I would cook dinner. And I did everything. Okay. Like just to be clear, like he would help me on occasion, but I cleaned, I cooked, like I did everything. Okay. So that's right. Destiny's Child. That song came to my mind too. I want to cater to you. Shout out to Destiny's Child for that. That was my jam. I used to work out to that song. So anyway, I embodied that, right? And here's the little tip. Okay. I know a lot of women, you have been cleaning and folding laundry, which I hate, and like taking care of the kids. And I had two, right? I had a baby and I had like, a 9-year-old and so forth. And I know it's hard work. It's a lot of work. And I will openly admit how much work it is to be a stay-home mom, homeschooling, and this like cater to you type of wife for your husband, right? Um, and so when they come from the door from work, and my husband worked a very physical job, right? Um, he would come in and he would be exhausted, but so would I. And so initially, when with my first child, I didn't know this yet. So with my first child, he would come in and I'd be like, "Here goes the baby." Like, I'm done. I'm off the clock for like at least an hour, and all of that. And you know what that did? That created so much problems in our relationship. It even affected our sex life. And I was not, if you know me, I was not having that. After my first marriage, I was like, never again. Okay, we're going to prioritize this. And so I need a partner who's like there with me on that. So we went to counseling, and I am a huge advocate of counseling. It probably helped us keep our marriage together. So whether yours is at spiritual or at the church or like out in the world, I find a counselor. It might take a few times. You got to find, it's like Cinderella slipper, right? You got to find the one that fits you. They're not all the same. You got to find a good one. Sometimes you can do it on Zoom, but like it's worth it to, sometimes you just need a little help communicating in your relationship and getting those tools to help you guys work together to keep that relationship longevity. And as long as nothing like happens in my relationship where you just can't go back from that moment, then you can make things work, especially if you keep the intimacy and the love and the sex life alive, and popping. So we'll talk about that more later. But the tip. Guys, I have ADHD. I just went on this. You could bear with me. Okay, the tip. So what I would do, what we learned in counseling was when he comes home, he gets 1 hour to decompress. And if you think about like old TV shows, the wife would like go up to her husband with his drink and the kid would have his like slippers or whatever. And all those old TV shows, if you've ever seen that shit. And that's kind of the mindset, right? Like let him come home, let him decompress. He did look good in a hard hat. So he was cute. That's what it was, you guys. He was so fucking fine. Oh my God, I couldn't even help myself. But also, side note tip. Okay, don't just base it on looks. Okay, this is the man that's going to be there when you deliver your children out of your body, or when a parent dies, or when a big life moment happens. Maybe your man is that guy who's got you and he's fine as fuck. But don't just base it on looks. Okay, because you might not get that guy. All right, and looks fade. Looks fade. Honey, let me tell you, looks can fade. And often they do. And I'm always talking about how men tend to let themselves go after like sometime between 42 and 45. Okay, let's just be real. Also, if you're married, stop letting yourself go for your wife. She wants to find you sexy too. It goes both ways. Okay, everybody acts like it's just women, but it's men too.